Many people today credit Cat's Eye as the first global girl group created under the K-pop training system. However, that's actually not the case. That title actually belongs to VCHA, a 6-member girl group formerly under JYP Entertainment and Republic Records. Ever heard of them? I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't. VCHA had quite the rocky career, from criticisms of their lineup and concept, to a legal battle between JYP and a former member, to the slow dissolution of the group as a whole. Now, with the rebrand of VCHA as GIRLSET and the legal battle having reached somewhat of a conclusion, I thought it was the perfect time to go into VCHA's history and how this group of 6 girls wanting to chase their dreams turned into a dark and twisted mess. Now I'm feeling so free. VCHA was formed through the survival show A2K, which consists of 22 episodes where 11 girls use their talents of singing, dancing, and rapping to make it into the debut lineup. If you are interested in watching the series, I'm pretty sure the whole thing is on YouTube on JYP Entertainment's YouTube channel for free. I have not seen it yet. Again, it might be a Patreon thing that I want to do, like with Dream Academy. Y'all said you'd be interested, so maybe soon, I don't know. Out of the 11 contestants, 6 of them were chosen to become members of VCHA. Kendall placed 6th, Kaylee placed 5th, Savannah placed 4th, Camilla placed 3rd, KG placed 2nd, and Lexus, who is now known under the stage name Lexi, won the competition. Right away, controversy was stirring. JYP was criticized for the young age of all of the debuting members, as they were all under 18 during the time of filming A2K. This criticism was especially directed towards Kaylee, as while most people agreed she was very talented, she was only 12 to 13 years old at the time of filming the show, and many thought that was just simply too young to debut, which is true. That's crazy. Like, girl, whoa. JYP also got some flack for not picking popular contestants like Gina and Christina to debut, and also for picking Kendall and KG, who many fans thought were too lacking in talent to make it to the debut lineup. In addition to the lineup problems, there was another controversy regarding member KG, where videos and photos were found of her wearing braids similar to the protective hairstyle worn by Black people. This incident made many people stop supporting her during her time on A2K and caused a lot of outrage when she was announced to be a confirmed member of VCHA, which makes a lot of sense. And it is a thing that happens a lot in K-pop, unfortunately, the cultural appropriation of Black hairstyles. But to have someone who has done that in a global girl group that is supposed to be appealing to everyone, little weird. Hopefully, that is not something that she does anymore. Nevertheless, the group pushed forward with their plans to debut. In fact, they hit the ground running, releasing a pre-debut single called Sevit, New Light. That's what it means in Korean. I don't know if I said that right. It released the same day the last episode of A2K aired. This special single album contained the VCHA version of 3 original songs performed on A2K, with Universe serving as the title track. They also had their first live performance that same day on Music Bank. Then they released a second pre-debut single months later on December 1st, 2023 called Ready for the World. This was the VCHA version of the A2K theme song. Overall, it seemed like people liked the pre-debut rollout for VCHA, but questioned their concept and how successful it would be in appealing to a global market. The songs they released so far did make sense to release, as they were part of A2K. People are familiar with it. A lot of times, people who watch survival shows like to get like the final version with the final group on Spotify. But many were hoping that they would stray away from this bright, cute, girl next door concept and debut with something more trendy. They didn't want anything too mature given Kaylee's young age and the young average age of the group, but just something that fell more in line with global trends. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen. Now I'm feeling so free. VCHA officially debuted on January 26th, 2024 with the title track Girls of the Year. As you may be able to glean from that small clip, VCHA did not deviate from that bright, inspirational sound, and people weren't really feeling it. People thought the song was made for a younger audience and sounded too childish and basic, comparing their concept to Kids Bop. People also just found the concept boring and wanted the group to debut with something more interesting and eye-catching. It was a very mixed reaction overall, but at the end of the day, I don't think that many people found this debut to be very impactful in the global market. JYP, however, promoted the hell out of this song. VCHA would be featured in their own Billboard article and on MTV's Fresh Out Live, and their fandom name of V-Lights was also revealed. That's all well and good, maybe even a little bit lacking if you're thinking about it, but what really put the promotions for Girls of the Year over the edge was the announcement that VCHA would be opening for TWICE on select dates of their Ready to Be tour. To put how big of an opportunity that is into perspective, TWICE is one of the biggest girl groups of all time in Korea, and the tour reportedly had a total audience of 1.5 million fans. So yeah, for a freshly debuted girl group, this was a massive opportunity. VCHA opened for TWICE in Las Vegas, Mexico City, and Sao Paulo to pretty positive reception. During their promotions with TWICE, the group also announced their second single, Only One. It seemed like VCHA was finally on the rise, but here is where cracks begin to show in the group's bright facade. On March 11th, about a week before VCHA was scheduled to open for TWICE in Las Vegas, and 4 days before Only One would release, it was announced that member Kaylee would be taking a hiatus due to health reasons. Fans were especially worried about her due to her young age and the brutality of the K-pop training system, and sent tons of sweet messages her way. VCHA would go on to perform without Kaylee in Vegas and drop the performance video for Only One on March 15th.
I could be the one and only one. I could be the sun and your sun.
Which is a banger, by the way. I think it's their best song. It was number 2 on my Spotify Wrapped last year. Like, if you're gonna listen to a VCHA song, listen to that one. Kaylee does appear in this video because it was filmed before her hiatus. And then, silence. Silence for over a year.
Now I'm feeling so free.
That's right, VCHA effectively went silent on social media shortly after the release of Only One. They were announced for Lollapalooza in March, which greatly excited fans, but they withdrew from the event in August. People were highly concerned about this disappearance. We already had Kaylee on hiatus, and now the whole group has vanished from social media. Things were getting weird. Several theories floated around, from JYP abandoning the group due to low success rate, to a rebrand, to even disbandment. Fans were left with no answers until December 7th, 2024, when member KG posted on her personal Instagram, and what she revealed changed the history of VCHA forever.
Now I'm feeling so free.
KG shared to her Instagram story that she attempted to terminate her contract with JYP Entertainment in May and had recently filed a lawsuit against JYP USA due to experiencing quote-unquote incidents of abuse and mistreatment by staff members. She thanks her fans, her members, and even JYP himself for her experience, but says she hopes her lawsuit can change the K-pop system for the better and keep trainees safe from harm while in company care. Naturally, people were pretty shocked by this revelation. What KG is accusing JYP USA of is very serious, even more so since all of the members of VCHA were minors at the time of their signing to the company. KG did publicly release her 132-page declaration, and here are some of the major points found within. Brief trigger warning here for things like abuse, eating disorders, poor mental health, and suicide, and other things like that. Honestly, it's a lot. It is very, very detailed and very, very dark. So if you would like to skip this section, I'll have a timestamp on the screen for you, but just know if you are skipping it, these allegations are serious. If you're not skipping it, let's get into what she said. KG alleges that she signed her contract under pressure with no support from the attorney JYP provided her, and was sometimes forced to sign contracts that were in Korean, which she can't read. KG alleges that the training VCHA received resulted in multiple member injuries, which for her included tearing a tendon in her shoulder, which they did not receive proper care for and were forced to work through. When they were taken to be treated, they were injected with something as part of that care. KG does not know to this day what they were injected with. That's some sci-fi movie stuff, guys. That one really got me when I read that. KG alleges that she and her members were working over 60 hours a week with pressure to work overtime from staff. KG alleges that JYP USA coaxed the members of VCHA to eat less and that their weight was measured every month. She also alleges that this controlled dieting and weighing, along with harmful comments from staff, pushed a member into developing an eating disorder. KG alleges that JYP USA emotionally manipulated the members of VCHA as a way of controlling them. KG alleges that JYP USA were surveilling VCHA inside their group home using cameras the girls were not told about. KG alleges that the treatment VCHA was given by JYP USA directly impacted the mental health of all members, including a suicide attempt by an unnamed member whose behavior was called normal by staff. KG stated in a text conversation with another member that she, among other feelings, quote, felt like she didn't have a personality anymore, end quote. KG alleges that JYP USA's lack of financial transparency caused her family to incur severe financial burdens, including over $370,000 in debt. KG alleges that since trying to leave the group in May, JYP threatened KG with liquidated damages, leaving her unable to release music and post on social media, among other things. So this is crazy. I'm getting XOMG pop flashbacks. If you know, you know. Just completely disgusting behavior from JYP Entertainment and the staff there. Fans were calling for the group to just disband, and I don't blame them. These allegations are truly insane. KG and the other VCHA girls deserved better. They were just 6 girls who were trying to chase their dreams and instead got treated like trash. That is just horrible. KG continued to periodically update fans about the case on Instagram, which I won't go into a ton because it mostly concerns like court hearing dates and stuff that's not super relevant to this story. It's just a lot of like things getting shifted around and all of that. Nothing super important to relay here, but I will briefly mention that KG's brother did unfortunately pass away during this time, which really sucks. It's lots of love to her and her family. It's just devastating, especially during this time of crazy stress for his family. So I hope they are all doing okay after that. KG and her case was really all the news we had on VCHA for months, but things were about to get crazy in VCHA land, not just regarding KG's case, but for all of the members.
Now I'm feeling so free.
On July 11th, Kaylee announced on her newly created personal Instagram that she would be leaving VCHA and JYP Entertainment. She thanks her fans and her former members for their support, JYP for the opportunity to be a member of VCHA, and shares that she's excited to explore new opportunities and share them with her fans. People were sad to see her go, but agreed that it was for the best due to the steep decline of the group. KG announced on July 22nd, 2025 that she did get a tentative ruling in her favor from the court, meaning the decision was not final and JYP USA could submit additional evidence to overturn the ruling, but things were looking good for her.
Hi guys, it's KG. I just want to come on here and give you guys an update. So I did have a court hearing today and the judge decided to tentatively rule in my favor, which means, you know, she came in ready to void the contract, which means I would have been released from JYP. However, JYP's counsel argued for them to submit evidence to, you know, prevent that from happening.
Everyone was waiting to see how that situation would go when JYP did something really weird. They wiped all of VCHA's social media accounts. On August 5th, 2025, VCHA's accounts removed their profile picture and all of their posts, and solo accounts for the remaining 4 members, Lexi, Camilla, Savannah, and Kendall, were found online. All 4 members shared a collaborative post with 4 microphones captioned 4. People were very curious about this post. Was VCHA back? Well, kind of. On August 7th, JYP would announce that the remaining 4 members of VCHA would be rebranding as GIRLSET with a new, more girl crush concept. People were so excited to see Lexi, Camilla, Savannah, and Kendall again after over a year of silence. They gushed over the rebrand and the new concept while hoping that the girls would be treated better as a result of KG's lawsuit. Speaking of KG, a day later on August 8th, she announced announced via Instagram stories that she and JYP USA had mutually agreed to terminate her contract, meaning she was finally free from the company. This means they did manage to settle out of court, so who knows how that court case would have ended had they not decided to settle that way, but she's free, and that's really all that matters. GIRLSET announced their debut single, Commas, this day as well, which will be releasing on August 29th.
You keep looking at me, keep looking at me like you wanna spend some money on me, some money on me. I'm like, commas.
They've been posting on social media, dropping song snippets, choreo teasers, and concept photos. We do not know if they are under the same management team or if they have a new team, but fans seem to be cautiously optimistic about the future of GIRLSET.
Now I'm feeling so free.
And that's where our story ends for now. It seems like every VCHA member, present or former, is doing well, pursuing new opportunities and just seeing where life takes them. GIRLSET is set to debut soon, and I'm very excited to see how they perform. I'm happy that Kaylee and KG are free from JYP and can do what they want to do. I truly just wish the best for all 6 of these girls. They are so talented, and I hope we keep getting good news from the 6 of them. For now, though, stay vigilant, support victims with the courage to share their story like KG did, and send the VCHA girls some love. Lord knows they earned it. And that is going to be it for this video, guys. Finally, I got this VCHA video out. I was waiting to see what would happen with KG's case. Was not expecting all the other stuff to go down with Kaylee and the rebrand and all of that. But I'm very excited to see what GIRLSET's debut is gonna be like. I'm very excited for them, and I'm happy for Kaylee and KG as well. Hopefully they get to do some other fun projects soon, release some solo music maybe. I will definitely be tuning in if that happens. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was shorter than I expected, but their career wasn't that long, so I guess that makes sense. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to this channel down below. I do a ton of other videos like this. I do a lot of girl group videos. I'm excited to do other things. Let me know if you guys have any ideas in the comments. That Sophia video is coming out soon. Oh my god, I've had it written for months, and I just keep getting these like updates with like this, with H Music, all of that. So we'll get there eventually. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of thing, definitely consider sticking around. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.